Hello friends, in our discussion on network layer, so far we have covered basics of network layer, control plane and data plane, best effort service model of network layer, router architecture, IP protocol, IP datagram format and fragmentation and reassembling of datagrams. Now we will discuss about IP addressing. In our earlier 8 video parts based on network layer, we have already covered the basics of internet network layer, data plane and control plane, the architecture of router and various switching mechanism. We have already covered IP protocol, datagram format of IP protocol and fragmentation and reassembling mechanism. Now we will move our attention to IPv4 addressing. Though addressing seems to be easy and straightforward, but specifically internet addressing is somewhat tricky, subtle and interesting topic as it is of central importance to the internet. Before discussing IP addressing, however, first we will see how hosts and routers are connected into the network. The host typically has only a single link in the network. When IP in the host wants to send a datagram, it does so over this link. The boundary between the host and the physical link is called an interface. Here, the host and the net is connected over a single link, and the boundary between the host and its physical link, which is indicated by a red mark here, this is nothing but an interface. Now consider a router and its interface. Because a router's job is to receive a datagram on one link and forward the datagram on some other link, a router necessarily has two or more links to which it is connected. Here these are router R1, R2, R3, R4, R5, R6 are having more than one link. And the boundary between the router and any one of its link is also called as interface. Like host and physical link, the boundary is called as an interface, which is indicated by a red mark here. Similarly, the boundary between the router and all of its physical link, which is typically indicated by a green mark, are nothing but the interfaces. And router is having more than one interface. Router thus has multiple interfaces, one for each of its link. Because every host and router is capable of sending and receiving IP datagrams, IP requires each host and router interface to have its own IP address. Thus, an IP address is technically associated with an interface rather than with the host or router containing that interface. Here, each and every host interface, either it is at the host level or at the router level, which are indicated by the red mark as well as the green mark. Each and every interface is having a unique IP address. Each IP address is 32-bit long, that is equivalently 4 bytes, and there are thus a total of 2 raised to 32 possible IP addresses. The length of IP address is 32-bit, hence we are having 2 raised to 32 possible IP addresses. That is approximately 4 billion possible IP addresses. These addresses are typically written in so-called dotted decimal notation. This is a typical dotted decimal notation in which each byte of the address is written in its decimal form and is separated by a period, that is a dot, from other byte in the address. For example, the IP address 193.32.216.1. Here 193 is decimal equivalent of the first 8 bit of the 32-bit byte IP address. Here the first 8 bit, that is the first byte, is equivalent to 193. Second byte is equivalent to 32. Third byte is equivalent to 216, and fourth byte is equivalent to 1. This is how the dotted decimal IP address is denoted. As discussed, each interface on every host and router in the global internet must have an IP address that is globally unique. These addresses, however, cannot be chosen randomly, but a portion of an interface IP address will be determined by the subnet to which it is connected. This figure illustrates IP addressing and interfaces. Here, one router with 3 interfaces is used to interconnect 7 hosts. Here, a single router, by using these 3 interfaces indicated by red lines, is used to interconnect 7 different hosts. That is host number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. These 7 different hosts are connected to the single router over 3 different interfaces. The first 3 hosts in the left portion and the router interface to which they are connected all have an IP address of the form 223.1.1.xxx. That is, the interface which is used to connect these 3 hosts means all these 4 interfaces 1, 2, 3, and 4 all are having the address of the form 223.1.1.1.2 and .3 and .4 means first 3 decimal digits 223.1.1 is common among all these 4 IP addresses of the interfaces. Here these 3 hosts, this particular interface which is used to connect these 2 hosts, again they are having a typical address form 223.1.3.1, 223.1.3.2, and 223.1.3.27. Here again, as in the first group, the first 24 bit which is used to represent first 3 decimal numbers is common. Let's go to the third group. Here again, these 3 interfaces, one which is used to connect these 2 hosts, having the address of the form 223.1.2.9, 223.1.2.1, 223.1.2.2. Again, in all these 3 groups, the first 24 bit of the address is common within each group. For the first group, 223.1.1 is common. For the second group, 223.1.3 is common. For the third group, 223.1.2 common. Here, the 4 interfaces left side and the 3 interfaces on the bottom sides are also connected to each other by a network that contains no router. That is, these three hosts and these two hosts are interconnected to each other by a network that contains no router. This network could be interconnected by either an internet switch or by wireless access point. This can be interconnected by either the internet switch or the wireless router. Typically, IP address consists of 32 bits, out of which higher order n bits forms the subnet part of the IP address. In Northwest, higher order 24 bits forms the subnet part, whereas lower order m bits forms the host part of the address. In our case, the lower order 8 bits forms the host part of the IP address. This is how the IP address is divided into the subnet part and the host part. We will represent this routerless network connecting these hosts as a cloud. Here in this diagram, this particular area which is indicated as cloud is typically connecting these hosts, three hosts and one interface from router side or router. This is a routerless network connection. Hence it is called as a cloud. In IP term, this network interconnecting three host interfaces and one router interface forms a subnet. Subnet is also called an IP network or simply a network in the internet literature. Typical characteristics of subnet is that device interfaces with same subnet part of the IP addresses. Here all the devices over the subnet are interfaces having the same part of subnet part of IP address. Can physically reach all these devices can physically reach each other without intervening router. As seen, all these hosts as well as the interface from the router can be reached without intervening router. One that is in the bottom with two hosts and one router, while having one more subnet here which consists of two hosts and one interface from the router side, and one more subnet again we're having two hosts connected and one interface from the router side. This typical diagram showing three subnets. IP addressing assigns an address to each subnet. That is subnet 223.1.1.0/24, where /24 notation, sometimes known as subnet mask, indicate that leftmost 24-bit of the 32-bit IP address defines the subnet address. Here in this case, this 223.1.1.0/24. This /24 format is a subnet notation. The significance of this 24 is that the first 24 bit of the IP address forms the subnet. The subnet 223.1.1.0/24 thus consists of three host interface. Typically is 223.1.1.1, 223.1.1.2, 223.1.1.3, and one router interface 223.1.1.4. These are the four interfaces wherein the first 24 bits are common among all these four interfaces, and those first 24 bit is known as subnet part. Here we are having two additional subnet. Here 223.1.2.0/24 means the first 24 bits, that is 223.1.2, is common among all these interfaces, two from host side and one from the router side interface. And the third subnet is 223.1.3.0/24. Again, 223.1.3 is common among all these three interfaces. And these first 24 bit, in our case, forms the subnet part of the IP address. As discussed, we have seen that there are three IP subnet present in the figure. Specifically, this one is indicated by a red rectangle, another subnet, and the third subnet. However, the IP definition of a subnet is not restricted to the Ethernet segment that connects multiple hosts to router interface. However, the definition of subnet is not restricted to this Ethernet segment wherein these three hosts are connected to IP interface or Ethernet. To get some more insight, consider that there are three routers that are interconnected with each other by point-to-point link. Consider these three routers. All these three routers are interconnected with each other by a point-to-point link. And each router is having three interfaces. One for each point-to-point link, that is this is one connecting another router and this one connecting another. These are the two interfaces which are used to connect point-to-point connect with another other router, and the third one used for a broadcast link that directly connect the router to a host pair of hosts. Means each router is having three interfaces: one interface, second interface, and third interface. These two interfaces are used to connect other two routers or a point-to-point link, and the third interface is used to connect this group of host or broadcast media. Three subnet, specifically 223.1.1.0/24, 223.1.2.0/24, and 223.1.3.0/24 are present, which we already discussed. But note that there are three additional subnet present here. One subnet 223.1.9.0/24, 223.1.9.0/24 for the interface that connects router R1 and router R2. This router R1 and router R2 are connected over an interface, and this particular forms another subnet. Another subnet 223.1.8.0/24 for the interface that connects router R2 and router R3. And third subnet 223.1.7.0/24 for the interface that connects router R3 and router R1. Means apart from the three subnets which we have already discussed, here we are having three more interface subnets. Specifically, This particular subnet connecting router R1 and R2. This another subnet connecting router R2 and R3. This third interface connecting router R3 and R1. For a general interconnected system of routers and hosts, we can use the following procedure to define the subnet in the system. Detach each interface from its host or router. Create an isolated network with interfaces terminating the endpoints of the isolated network. And each of these isolated network is called as subnet. If we apply this procedure to the interconnected system shown in the given figure, we get 6 isolated network or 6 subnets. That is, procedure to define subnet is that for that purpose we need to detach each interface from its host or router. Each and every interface must be detached first from either the host or the router. Create the isolated network with the interfaces terminating the endpoints of the isolated networks. And each of these isolated network is then termed as subnet. This is how we are having 6 different subnets in this figure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. In this session, we have discussed about IP addressing, specifically what is subnet and the host part of the address. In the next lecture, we will see the class C and classless addressing methods of Internet Protocol. Thank you very much.